Hello. Hello, hello. How you guys doing? How was your week? It was stressful. But welcome. Bridgewater, John Mega, how you doing? Welcome. So I've been touching this a little bit over the past few days, the past week or so. Making little tweaks here and there. Apartment search. Oh, interesting. Is that a good kind of interesting or a bad kind of interesting? So I've been making some tweaks, been going through some things, and I've been noticing some patterns. And one of them is with like draw character stuff, right? These guys here. Draw a ROM car, right? This guy here. I noticed that the data always ends in like FF00, which tells me that this is probably all like actually used as data. But I thought that this call was only a single character. So we're going to have a look at that, I think, to start. See what's going on with that and what those other arguments actually mean, because I don't think I wrote that down anywhere. I don't know. But I've also made some tweaks in this output here. I have simplified a bunch of output. You'll notice the colons before some labels. That's a push var essentially, right? That you just use the label. I don't need to know that it's being pushed. Something similar here, right? Push indexed, right? Index values in the braces and square brackets. I feel like there was some other stuff. Oh yeah, numbers that are pushed that are more than hex 80 are all done with like the push word, right? So I was getting a lot of like full hex values in the code. There's some of them in here that are like this, right? They'd all look like this, but like for not just FFFF, for anything that's above hex 80. So I just turned everything that's less than 255 into a decimal. Anything above that stays at this format. Excuse me. Just to, simplify things, because those were absolutely all over the place. And I think I also fixed one of them, like concatenate. I think string concatenate had bad return properties, so the stack kind of broke. Last time I streamed, I went over that change that I did though, right, for the stack stuff. Segment 11. Segment 11, where there's more crap at the end of the stack that like left over. This never touched. Did I ever go over that? I forget if I did. Basically means I just haven't set that as data, right, in the config. Yeah. Those opposing a project got ghosted and listing got taken down. Went back up again. Answer got ghosted, taken down. Now the third time was put up, applied. We got a viewing. Oh, pressed to go down. Oh, it went down. I don't like that today. Was with 3 other people. Couples that were also interested. But probably gonna have the first one I mentioned. It's nice, good location. Oh, well, good luck. First person to move into it. Oh, a new construction. Nice. 6B41. Yeah, my week was stressful. 6BD4. Britt, hey on, welcome. Yeah. So I've been doing this a little bit, just throughout the week a little bit, like when I'm stuck in a meeting that I don't care about or whatever, just finding the start and the end of the data, and going through that. I'm sure if they're still working on the foundation. Oh wow. Third max, that's something. Oh, nice. But so there's a little. Actually, I don't know if I committed these things. Hang on, let me make sure I committed some of this stuff. I didn't. Look at that. All right, well, we'll go over these together. Diff. What did I change? Oh yeah, I'm not doing that right now. Let's ignore that. All right. So I reversed the arguments in how they're displayed, right? So hang on, let's go to one here. So argument A is the first one, B, and then C, D, E, F, and G, right? But argument A is the first one pushed and the last one pulled off the stack. So after pulling it off, I just reversed that list so it displays that way with argument A first, right? So I did that, which broke the label stuff that I had in there. So I had to fix that. So that's what where is it? That's what this is. That's fixing that. This is some more. Okay, so this is the indexed push with the square brackets. Some better debugging for when something pulls too much crap off the stack. It'll actually just give you the instruction name and an address format a little differently. It formats everything a little differently, so it's a little bit more readable. This is that code for the push value, right? Push word. If it's greater than 255 rather, print the full hex. Otherwise, print a decimal. Removing that return there, so I could see more of what actually broke. That helped, because that meant I could find what actually caused the issue. I was looking at the wrong instruction for that. I thought it was a trunk. It's like a string truncate or a trim rather, but it was one of its arguments instead. So I wasn't getting the argument for that one. That's this guy right here, shrinking cat. That's that fix. I need to remove that because that is not true. I thought they were, because that's the error I was getting, but I wasn't getting the full error. So because that return stops popping off the stuff from the stack, and it doesn't like add the arguments to the stack, so they get lost or whatever. 28. Ooh, getting warm. Starting to get warm. Let's actually remove those as comments though. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, and then that fix me. That goes away because that's not true. Diff. One. Uagan? Hello, how you doing? How do you say your name? Welcome. Wayne. That's not how you spell that. What? Where did you learn to spell? Welcome, though. How you doing? W. I know. W-A-N. Welcome, bro. How you doing? All right, so let's just add all these. Instruction. Sure, sbugs. No, what? Get add. Forgot that. Insert spooks. All that. No, you bastard. Yeah. No, not like that. Not like that. I want to do that one. Quit out of that one. Get diff cached. There it goes. So I have my notes. There it is. All right. Reverse arguments. Reverse. No. SPX script. Reverse AST args. Oops. What? Args. Fix string concat. Fix string concat. More stuff. Yeah. Am I just assembling an NES game? Kind of. Yeah, so it's like educational kind of software. Comes on cassette tapes that are played on this thing called the Study Box. Looks like this. I'm afraid the so-called Frontier Labs just fail. Just go through it. I hope all the AI shit dies. Panic because they hit their sales target, and it might be the actual beginning of the end. God, I hope so. I really fucking hope so. I really do. It needs to die so badly. But yeah, so this is what I'm working on here. So the firmware on this device executes a script essentially that's on the tape, and that script is what coordinates the lessons, the games, if you want to call them games, the programs on the tape. So I am going through figuring out how that script works, basically. What I have so far, so it looks like this over here. I have two representations. I have a direct disassembly for what the actual byte stream is, and then I have it in a like an AST kind of output. There's some problems with it with this output, I understand, but we're working through it. Finding them as sanding them down as I come across them, but yeah. Hitting sales targets is normal, especially when they set ridiculous goals. But if they are hitting their sales targets, it's hard to imagine that implies they're on a path to profitability. Yeah, they are It's like every AI company fucking bleeding money. The number of open program jobs are up again, and we're hitting the point where actual devs are cheaper than LLMs, plus they're still very much subsidized. Difference between not hitting target and not hitting sales targets while bleeding money. Yeah, they can't bleed fast enough, in my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on here. So this is a disassembler that does both 6502 assembly as well as the study box script. Okay, so reverse the arguments for instructions in the AST output. So argument A is first on the list. Now, my last job, which I quit last month, was pretty much mandated use of working on database internal. Oh no, you mean stuff that like needs to be accurate and efficient? The thing that like the two things that LLMs can't do, accuracy and efficiency. Oh God. Oh, Jesus. That sounds like a nightmare. Oh, sounds like a terrible idea. Kodor, how you doing? I'm feeling a little better. Yeah, I was just exhausted on Friday. I'll get into it once I finish writing up this commit message, but this past week was a nightmare. I gotta clean. I still have cleanup to do next week, so this is gonna be fun. Let's see. Reformatted. Push var. No, push. Yeah, push. Yeah, push var. Indexed to be label IDX. Now. fixed the return arguments for string concat. Added a custom wow go string for let's be x dot opcode. Yeah. What else? Whoa. No. Get back there. Do not return. That's not how you spell that. E-D-I. Immediately. Is that how you spell immediately? How the fuck do you spell immediately? Did I spell it right? Yeah, okay. When an instruction pops too much off the stack. I think that's it. Right? Nope, I forgot that one. Reformat. Push word. To just to display the value in decimal if it is less than 255. If the value is less than 255. Fall back to the 16 4-digit hex display otherwise. Okay. Exit that. There we go. NDBE, hello. Welcome. Are they saying they can't use their usage targets? So even they're saying they can't hit their usage targets. So even subsidized subscriptions, I have free computers not doing it. CTO tried rewriting a major part of the storage engine last year. Oh no. 70,000 line of code PR on my team, which I understand the whole company is still trying to fix bugs. Oh no, okay, that's, oh my god. That's terrible. Like walking up the bridge and just jumping off. I just learned how flawed some of the AI benchmarks are. First, they're limited to stuff it could be good at, and then you have one that says it's correctly. If it comes from an LLM, and one that just accepts how many questions. Oh yeah, manipulation of the output. Yep, that's been a thing since forever. You know, anytime someone wanted to graph something, you know, there's room for manipulation. Our CTO is behind AI, but there's enough pushback to take a cautionary look at it. Well, actually, it doesn't seem like to like it at all. Oh, that's refreshing, at least. Yeah, it's safer to be anonymized with that kind of stuff. Yeah. At my place, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. At my place, so I've got my boss, who was the CTO before the company was bought, and the new CTO. New CTO is a lot more cautious. Bridgewater, how you doing? I said hi to you already, didn't I? I think I did, yeah. Honestly, 70,000 Lanico PR is grounds for rejection purely on the terms of TLDR. Yeah. Shush, John Mega. Shush. All right. I never said I was good at it. Good at keeping it, you know, hidden. But what was I saying? Yeah. So new CTO is a little bit more cautious than my boss. Thankfully. And I am very loud and vocal about rejecting the use of AI. I've told my boss directly point blank that I refuse to use AI for coding. Point blank. And at that, this was before the acquisition, and at that, when he was still CTO, and at that time he was like, well, you know, that's where the world's going or whatever like that. I'm like, no, I refuse to use that. Period. Like, you cannot force me to use it. Full stop. I don't care that what you how much of a magic box you think it is. I reject that notion. He still tried to, like, you know, convince me otherwise, right? So he took some PLB code, which is basically COBOL but worse, right? It's what a bunch of our legacy applications are written in. So he tried to be sneaky about it, but I knew it. I could see it through it fucking immediately. He's like, oh, let me see, you know, some of the code that this bank has for whatever. I'm like, all right, buddy. I know as soon as you get this code, you're gonna throw it at ChatGPT and see what it vomits out. So with that in mind, I found some code, like, all right, fuck it. Let's see what it does with this chunk of code that all it is customer-specific shit, right? It's like nested if blocks, if else blocks, a disgusting spaghetti of code, right? That's like, if this customer ID, do thing. But if it's this, like, format code and this customer ID, do this thing. But if it's this format code, do this thing. But if it's this customer ID or this customer ID or this one, do this other thing, right? So it was disgusting code, right? So I sent it over, right? And he immediately threw it at ChatGPT, which I saw coming a mile away, like I said. And he sent it back to me and goes, hey, take a look at this. Tell me what you think. I looked at it. Took 2 seconds. Yes, it's garbage. I was like, no, what do you mean? It's good. I'm like, no, it's garbage. Huh? It was into Python because he's like, oh, yeah, it does Python better than Go. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. But he still didn't, like, believe me that I said that the code was garbage. It was useless, the stuff that he it vomited out. And he brought it up again on a meeting in front of everybody. And I'm like, all right, we're doing this now? Fine. Buckle up. You know, shared my screen, pulled up the code, and tore it to fucking shreds, right? This isn't this. The LLM thought this was a pointer. By the way, it's not a pointer, it's a control code. Fuck you. That's not at all what this means. And then the best part of it is I scroll down to the bottom. So far it's been like, you know, open this file and print this header or whatever the fuck on the report or whatever, right? Bullshit that didn't fucking matter. And that was wrong anyway. And then at the very bottom, there was a comment that just said, the rest of the customer-specific code goes here. And I'm like, motherfucker, it was all customer-specific code. What are you on about? You gave up? What do you mean you gave up? Go to hell. He backed off after that. A little bit. Yeah, fool's gullible, yeah. Trav, how you doing? To think that the LLMs won't have use long term, so there's a gross ignorance of what it is able to do. I don't see it that way. I see far more issues with LLMs, especially in the current climate, no pun intended there, than there are benefits right now. Have I used it in anger? I reversed engineered numerous complex things the past week in 30 minutes. No, I refuse out of principle to use AI. Out of principle number one. If I have to use that, I'll be very angry, right? Yeah. There are numerous issues that I have that a lot of it isn't even directed at the technology, but the landscape and ecosystem around this shit. My colleagues answer me in Jira with LLM generated nonsense, tiresome. Yeah. 2 spoke compression algos, I was able to reverse in 30 minutes. That would have taken a lot more time than that. That's not a selling point for me. Speed for that kind of stuff, it's not a selling point for me. It really isn't. 0% I have an entire faction increase in productivity of LLMs. Yeah, I could see a detriment in it, you know. there's a lot of questions that revolve around, okay, who controls the LLM? And whoever controls it essentially controls the output. And, you know, user be damned, right? I just saw a fucking post today about some fucking LLM injecting ads into pull requests on GitHub. What? If I see any of that, I'm closing that PR as rejected. No. Apps on that alone. Like, what do you mean you're putting ads into pull requests? Go fuck yourself. As soon as you violate my trust on that, I do not trust any of your other code at all. Full stop. Right? That ain't happening. 2 months ago? I only saw it today when I was waiting for my food to be ready. If you want nowadays, VS Code enabled co-authored by Copilot in all commits recently. Yeah, that's one thing I saw in one of the comments of that. Yeah. Using a tool poorly is not a knock against the tool. Blame the user for using a hammer to try to put screws in the wood. No. And on this case, the person selling the hammer is selling it like you could do anything with it. Yeah, and it's got the how do I want to phrase this? Vibe around it, like it's the next Bitcoin bullshit or the next NFT bullshit, and you know the next tech bro money grab shit, basically, right? And it infuriates me to no end, right? When someone comes in, you know, maybe with all the best intentions, right? And does a thing with LLM, and has no really understanding of what it does or what it's doing, rather. And you go to, like, you know, ask questions about or dig into, like, you know, asking clarification on something or whatever, right? And that person just comes back with, oh, I don't know, that's just what ChatGPT spat out. It's like, okay, well, go to hell. Like, I lost interest. You're not willing to figure out what you even vomited out? I don't care. You don't care? I don't. Go away. You know? Still probably biased. Yeah. So by definition, you can't trust anything it does. Right. And that's one of the things. It's like, it is clearly biased in injecting ads into its output. What else is it biased in? Right. I mean, there's a small area that I have expertise in, right? And in that area, I can find issues. What are the issues that I do not have enough expertise in? Right? I'm not phrasing that very well. I remember reading something about this where someone like did interviews around like a college campus or some shit, right? Where they asked like each department like their thoughts and opinions on some AI model or some bullshit, right? And basically what it boiled down to, no matter what subject that person was using it for, they all had the same response. Oh, it can do that other thing that isn't my subject, but it can't do my subject. Across the board, that was the case. Right? So, to avoid falling into that same trap, I don't trust what it's outputting for my subject. I don't trust whatever it's outputting for those. Out of, I don't know, principle? That's not right, not principle. I don't know. Everything's probably based on terms of outcome. That's why we have code review. Okay, but it's more of a who controls that bias. If it's some dipshit that you got, intern or whatever, all right, he's controlling that bias. That's something you can negotiate with, right? You can't negotiate with Microslop. It's their way or get off. Get out of here, Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. But yeah, so at work this week, the reason I didn't stream on Friday, I was fucking exhausted. I did something that I almost never do for work, which was work after hours from home. For the sole reason of having less headache the next day for myself. So the gist of it was we're moving servers from New England, my plant, down to Florida for some Red Hat stuff. And in the move, we're going from Red Hat 7 to Red Hat 9, right? So it's a fresh install. And it's into a new environment with like different map drives and all that shit, all the mounts or whatever, right? That are configured differently and this and that. I focus on two programs, the big bank and the not so big bank. The bank that thinks they're big, right? They're the ones that are pure PLB, and their code's constantly being changed, right? So I made sure that those worked for the most part, right? Turns out though, some of the stuff that I had working decided not to work because fucking Cryptwrite, that dog shit software. Also, GPG can go to hell too because that fucking broke for another account and I can't figure out how to fix that shit either because the error messages are fucking useless. But so on fucking Wednesday, I spent 4 hours getting one program to actually run its file. And I started late on that because the retiree that I work with, he's in his 60s, mid to late 60s. He needs to fucking retire. Was confused about when to start a job, and I was waiting for him to finish that job before doing things. So I didn't get started until like 3 o'clock, when I should have been started an hour before that. So I stayed till like 7 o'clock that night. Almost 7. Then Thursday, everything's broken because of course it is. So I was mostly fixing shit then. And then Friday was the first of the month. So volume and is up. And month-end jobs are being run. And those broke because fucking of course they did. Why wouldn't they? More issues cropped up that I didn't see. So some of the stuff we ran on the old server. Right? God, and I still have to fix some shit. And my boss is like, all right, well, what's the revert process? And I go, there isn't one. Because that's more dangerous and more of a headache than just powering through this and getting it working. Because if I have to go backwards, all hell breaks loose. Because of how much spaghetti this shit is. And I've been hesitating to make this move because I knew how much of a headache this would be. But earlier last week, he's like, all right, but by the 8th, we need this other thing done. And I'm like, buddy, I don't even have like 3 steps before that done. We're moving too fucking fast here. Oh, so CTO wants it done by then. Like, I don't care what he wants. It ain't gonna be done by then. But he's pushing it forward anyway. I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's go. Let's break everything. YOLO. So, yeah, so Friday was a nightmare too. Yeah. Reading code is harder than writing, so if you can trust the part that wrote it, can make assumptions when rewriting. Meanwhile, if you have to read LLM code, you can only assume it doesn't understand shit and be really detailed. Yeah. Detailed when reviewing it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I didn't stream on Friday, because I had worked after hours on Wednesday and Thursday, actually, both of those days, which is something that I extremely rarely do. It's very rare. And by the time I got home on Friday, I was done. I was so exhausted. My eyes were fucking glossing over at 5 o'clock, or no, 6 o'clock. And I just couldn't. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock that night. So dead. So dead. Easier for whom? And at most might help you get a prototype at the door, but that's not what a prototype is for. Yeah. Yeah. That's bitten me in the ass, by the way, with like prototype stuff, where I was too enthusiastic explaining it or whatever, and didn't realize that the person I was explaining it to wasn't as technically minded or informed about the thing I was talking about, that they just thought it was ready to go and I just needed to flip a switch, right? And yeah, it's bitten me in the ass where I'm like, oh no, I still have like a week's worth of work left to do to polish it and get it ready for production, right? So I've learned that lesson the fucking hard way a few times. So I'm very, very cautious about that now. They'll work in the office or a hybrid format. I mean, it's technically hybrid. On my team, I'm the one that's in the office the most. But that's mainly because the apartment that I'm in is tiny, right? This desk is my only desk that I can like work at. And when I'm here sitting down at this desk, I'm not working, right? So when I do bring my laptop out, like it's difficult for me to stay focused, number one, because I'm not in my workspace, right? And there's too many distractions around. When I'm at work, it's a different environment, and I am most decidedly in the work environment, if that makes any sense, right? So mentally, it's a lot easier to get shit done. So, I mean, but that said, I can work from home. I have a bunch. Actually, this past week I worked from home a little bit because my car was in the shop. That's another thing that took a toll on me this week. If my car wasn't in the shop, I'd have a new study box in the mail. But alas, it needed a new fucking transmission. So, Lies effect on them. 1966. Oh no. I thought of the Zachtronics game. I think that uses the same name. Yeah. And it starts out where you are the human go-between at a like a psychiatric office, right? A shrink, kind of. But you're just like reading the responses from this all-knowing AI or some bullshit. But that has the interests of some company, some corporate overlord, whatever, some corporate entity in mind, and not the interests of the person it's supposed to be serving, right? You know. Even though I for research is far more effective than the traditional means to find alpha. So this is another issue I have, is the term AI is all encompassing, right? When someone just says AI, you don't know if they mean LLM stuff. You don't know if they mean the fucking image diffusion stuff, or fucking old school like NPC AI in games, right? You don't know if they really mean like machine learning type stuff. That's another really big issue I have with the whole thing. Is the term AI is super generic, right? And the AI that I have issues with is the generative and LLM based bullshit, right? Those are the ones I've got the issue with. So, yeah, sometimes it can be the water's a little bit muddied when talking about different things, different areas of it because of that, right? Oh. But anyway. But yeah, so that was my week. That's how much of a headache it was. When one of the issues I'm having with that new Red Hat server, by the way, for whatever the fuck reason, one of the mounts is case insensitive because fuck you, I guess. So a process to quote download the files, move files from folder A to B, completely breaks because it only works with lowercase stuff, and the script to turn everything lowercase doesn't fucking work. Because it goes, oh, that file already exists. You can't move a file to itself. Ah! Yeah. And then that was an encrypt-write software, the GPG software, right, that we use. They're trying to get rid of, thankfully. But one program, it's ingrained in far enough that I can't remove it easily. That can't communicate with the master server, so it can't update the keys that it rotates all the fucking time, every other month or something like that. So it can't encrypt or decrypt shit, which makes it fucking useless. And then for some reason, on one of the other accounts, I import the private keys and the public keys, and it just refuses to encrypt or decrypt anything because fuck you. Ah! Gives me like a permission error, like permission denied. Fucking why? Doing what? You've got perms on the file? Fuck you. Pissed me off. Pissed me off so much. And what's really discouraging is when I'm trying to explain some of these issues to my boss, and you can just see him not understanding anything I'm talking about. That's what hurts too. That's what hurts too. Extremely sick. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Yeah. Why most managers on our field are non-initiated? I don't know. And he keeps bringing up his previous place of employment. Like, oh, this is what we did here. I built this software over here. I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. You told someone to build it. You told someone to build this software. You didn't build it, you motherfucker. You're just taking credit for it. Go to hell. I was talking to my friend today. A year or two younger than I am. He's down in New Jersey somewhere. But he's your stereotypical like manager kind of person, right? He's a lot of his roles are like supervisory kind of roles, whatever, right? And he was doing that where he said he built this software when really he contracted out to someone else to build it for him. And he's got all these grandiose ideas of like selling it or whatever and this and that, and you know. And I'm like, all right, buddy, sure. I'm not even arguing with him at this point. I'm like, all right, sure. Yeah, that's what you think. All right, have fun. Good luck. Good luck. All right. Insane old PHP backend is funny to try to explain to our non-program manager how much a rewrite would benefit us. Yeah. So thankfully, my boss understands that the code I deal with is radioactive. Modifying it is dangerous. Rewriting into something else is expensive. Thankfully, he understands this. And I've somehow drilled into his thick fucking skull that ChatGPT doesn't know what the fuck PLB is. Because nobody knows what the fuck PLB is. Except a few people in chat, which is I find hilarious. So thankfully, he understands that you can't just throw it at ChatGPT and it'll figure it out, because it can't. Because again, it's an autocomplete engine, and it has zero training data for PLB. Zero. Doesn't know what the fuck it is. It thinks it's some like SQL bullshit. Have I ever worked with with Progress? Why did I think that was Postgres? That doesn't sound familiar as a piece of software. Because that's just a word. I know what the English word progress means, but I don't connect that to a software suite. A language? The fuck? What is this? Did I copy that? Oh, copy. Thank you. ABL. You're an ass? Am I saying that right? You're an ass. Okay. How you doing? Open Edge Advanced Business Language. Oh, God, a business language. Oh, fuck. Another one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Not another one. Oh, no. I hate this class of language. PLB is this. I hate it. I hate this class of languages. It's so bad. This is PLB. This is one of the cleaner things for PLB, right? Lots of like full words of add, this to that, display, print, add, right? Go to. There's also let's see, here's another one. Yeah, same kind of like very wordy, verbose, pain in the ass. This looks closer to COBOL though. This looks a little closer to COBOL with that. Yeah. I saw the syntax was similar. Yeah. Involved in no code or involved in the vibe code. Yeah. Code source uses using a few companies around the earth. Say the pay is good though. Yeah. Yeah, when it's rare enough, the pay is very good. Oh, it's closely tied to database stuff? Oh. Interesting. PLB does have some database stuff, but it's not as closely tied, I don't think, as this. But it can do it. Surprisingly, not terribly, actually. I'm currently working with some very old code base. Well, yes, this is the kind of code I work on at work, but it looks more like this when I've got to actually, work on it. This is all syntactically valid, by the way. There's so much. There's this the big banks program is more than 30 years old. The oldest dated comment in the code is from like 1993. So it's fucking 30 plus years old, right? 30 fucking 3 years old, right? And it's not that like we wrote the program and then just let it rot for 30 years. No, we've been shoehorning shit into that code for 30 years. Are those things in Git nowadays? No. I wish they were. I really do. I started at my current position 5 years ago. And that was one of the first things I brought up, being like, hey, we should probably get this shit into source control. And it was shot down because the higher-ups were brain dead and thought open source equals evil and unsecure. And that's what Git was. And I'm like, are you high? You don't understand what you're talking about. What do you mean? And they're like, yeah, we can't do open source stuff. I'm like, well, why? Because bad was the response I got, essentially, right? And I turned right around and said, okay, do you use the internet? Cool. HTTPS. All that shit's built on open source. All right. GPG, this PGP bullshit you doing, all built on open source. You pay for a piece of software for that? Okay. What do you mean the company was bought and then the software was sunsetted? So you're telling me we're running 15-year-old PGP software that you can't even get anymore or pay for? Okay. Okay, I say. Uh-huh. Yep. Windows Server 2003? I beg your fucking pardon? You're coming at me about security? And you're running fucking Windows XP as a server? What? What? And then I also turned around and said, all right, look at that. See that Red Hat? Linux? That stuff? Yeah. That's the biggest open source project on the fucking planet. You're already using open source. Stop being a moron. Eventually, enough for the higher ups fucking left, retired or whatever. I just started, and eventually I got fed up enough. I went, fuck it, I'm just gonna do my own thing. Fuck you. Was there a mistake without that? We never would have gotten the anti-stealing code. You figure out you violated license. We actually got in a bunch of trouble with fucking open text, I think. I think it was open text. No. No. It wasn't that one. Java PDF library. What is that? What is it called? iText. That's it. That library. So we were using that, and someone somewhere didn't read a license for something, right? And built a small little utility to like add bookmarks or split a PDF file or some bullshit, right? They wrote a little utility for that and then gave it to a customer. And I guess the developer behind iText, or the new owner behind iText, found out about that and started coming after us for license violations. And I'm like, well, okay, they're not wrong, number one. It's an asshole move, but sure. Two, what the fuck were we even using it for? So they annoyed the shit out of my boss, right? And my boss is like, how do I just make this go away? I'm like, all right, well, what's the tool that you used it with? He tells me some PDF splitting bullshit or whatever, right? And I'm like, oh, just, is there any customer specific code in there? He's like, no, just fucking push it to GitHub. Just push it to GitHub, be done with it. Influento, how you doing? Did I mean Git or GitHub? If Git, then why not host it on a private server, not share the code on any third parties? See, so unfortunately, the people that ran the company were fucking brain dead. And even my current boss confused Git and GitHub to the point where he sent me a CVE report for GitHub Enterprise Server saying that I needed to update. And I replied to him, we do not use this software. This is why I get on your case about you confusing Git and GitHub. After that, he finally, realized that, no, I'm a stickler for names for a reason. They mean things. You can't call the Git T server that I'm running GitHub because that confuses things. And then you get confused and get all freaked out about shit that doesn't even matter. You need to be specific in this field, all right? In a lot of fields, but a lot of fields actually, you need to be kind of specific on things. Or we could use GitLab. Yeah, so funny enough, the company that bought us has GitLab, and they do everything in GitLab. And they've got like pull requests and all the kind of other and pipelines and all that kind of shit like tied into their ticketing system and all that. Because they've been not afraid of technology for the past 20 years, like my like the former company, right? In fact, so in Florida, this person was gone by the time I had gotten there. Shit bucket. So the plant in Florida does so much shit manually because apparently the CTO of the company before that company was bought or whatever was afraid of computers and didn't trust them at all. So had everyone do everything manually, right? To the point where when something broke in my plant, right? Like in the Big Bang program, it touches so much shit, so many moving parts, right? Part of that is a file getting uploaded to the customer servers, right? Getting sent to the customer. And that broke for some reason, right? Why? I don't fucking know. The network hiccuped because it was just a shitty network. At this point, one of the managers down in Florida was involved, and they're like, okay, well, how are we going to prevent this? What is the checklist? We need to update the checklist for whoever's processing this to make sure they do the thing before the job is finished. And everyone's like, what checklist? She hits go, and it does everything automatically. We don't upload this shit manually. Are you telling me you upload your shit manually down there? Are you fucking high? It took him a while to understand that, like, all this shit's automated. Terribly automated, but, you know, automated nonetheless. You know? GitLab seems to be nice, much nicer for corporate stuff. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah. Yeah, they have, new company has everything in one massive monorepo. I'm like, oh, God, not the monorepo. No! Like, okay. I had a meeting the other day with them this past week. Like Monday or Tuesday, right? And I told him, like, hey, I've got a lot of code, right? A lot of code from previous company. A bunch of it is production code. Where do you want me to put this? How do you want me to handle this code? Also, there's a lot of code that isn't in Git. I may need help figuring out how to handle this. So, yeah. So then they you know, started to figure out how they wanted me to handle it, and then they gave me a whole like group. I'm like, all right, you've got free reign on this group. Create as many repos as you need to. All right, thank you. So yeah, that's shit next week that I'm gonna be doing. I don't know. We'll see. But many repos at work. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't particularly like the massive monorepo thing, especially when, like, for my business, for the business that we're in, it's all print and mail shit, right? So like credit unions, banks, fucking utility, whatever the hell. Those are our customers, and we print out like bills, we print out invoices, we print out bank statements. My location prints out a lot of checks, bank checks, right? And a lot of it is custom, right? That's kind of, you know, how we got to where we are, is having a lot of custom programs for different customers. So each customer has their own fucking program that runs, right? And it does its own specific thing. And the new company has something similar, basically, right? Where, you know, the customer's data comes in God knows what format, and it's all, you know, ingested and vomited out onto a page and all that kind of stuff. It's all separated by, you know, the different application codes or whatever that we got. But it's all one fucking massive monorepo. I'm like, fucking why? Ew. I don't know. Funniest thing is that those old school non-techies manager will replace a vibe coding kind of managers once this first group will fully retire. Oh god, I hope not. Hard to predict which group is better to work with. Yeah. Each project is within its own separate subdirectory, in which is the actual repo. No. Neither, both are shit. Yeah, but so I've got some struggles at work. We are working towards a better setup. So, like, I'm not fighting that. I'm not fighting the changes. I'm fighting how fast they're happening because I can't fucking keep up. That's what I'm fighting. I'm fighting the fucking slow down, let me fucking breathe. Holy shit. Like, pump the brakes a little bit, man. I'm losing my mind. Stop it. We're going too fast. Slow the fuck down. And that coupled with, like, my boss not understanding how much work goes into fixing a certain thing. Like, there's one that basically boils down to the Big Bang program again. Writing out this mail data file that the mail inserters use. And depending on the input code the input data that it gets, it will write out either one or two of these files. And when we originally like implemented this shit, it just didn't fucking work or whatever. So the code was just left there, broken, half broken, whatever. And we just said, fuck it, we'll just deal without it, right? Well, now we're actually going to start using this shit. And I discovered that when this program writes out two of them, it uses the same fucking file name. So the first one is overwritten by the second one, right? And my boss is like, oh, well, how hard is that to fix? I'm like, I don't fucking know. There's so many fucking layers to this shit. I don't know. Get back to me in a month when I finally get there. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I don't disagree in the direction we're going. You know, that's the big thing there, you know. The new company has a lot better organization, and they haven't scared away their talent like the old company has. The old company, the talent just fucking bled, right? It's a fucking miracle I stayed there as long as I have, right? But the West Coast, the new company, actually has talent that knows what the fuck they're doing. And it's unbelievably refreshing, especially when I talk to the retiree, and he is confused about something that I've told him over and over and over and over again, and it's like, okay, man, this PDF, you see this pattern of characters, this tag that's in there? Yeah, that tells the printer how it needs to print. It tells it that there's no perforations. It tells it it's in color and it's two-sided, duplex, right? 8.5 by 11 page, right? So when it's in this format, it goes in folder A. Here's the old format. It says similar shit, but it's a different format. You can tell the difference between the two, right? Yep. Okay. The second format goes into folder B. This past week, I tried removing the tag and just putting it in the cut tagged folder. Why? Why did you think that would work? Why? What could have possibly possessed you to think that would work? Why? It's so exhausting. I reckon we've got people that have been there for between 15 and 25 years. So it's the same here, except the people that have stuck around are the morons. That's the trouble. Is the people that stuck around are the incompetent idiots that couldn't get a job anywhere else, or weren't bright enough to leave. You know, I say, well, I realize that, you know, I hit 5 years in February, this place, which is the longest I've ever worked anywhere. People who stuck around are part of the execs, including the CTO. Yeah. So one of the big things with the buyout that happened last year, the CEO sold the company, right? She was the root cause of all of the issues at the company. Full stop. Right? Every bad decision that any of the managers made could be traced back to either her hiring that moron or her, offsetting the scales in her favor or some shit, right? Do I like the job? The actual content of the work I do is interesting. The actual work, when I get to do it without the time pressure, is interesting work. I like it when I am able to do it at my own pace. Unfortunately, that is almost never the case. The deadlines at this place are the worst deadlines that I have ever encountered. And I feel like I am on my own for a lot, right? Yeah, office politics, yay! Yeah, that's some of it. Yeah, and just the absolute morons that they hire sometimes. There's one of the customer reps. I don't know how she fucking dresses herself in the morning and even makes it to the office. She's so stupid. This woman prints out fucking everything. I prefer deadlines than just what I am working on now. My deadlines are measured in hours, not days. Yeah, a deadline that's a few days out and, knowing a bit of the scope or whatever, giving an estimate, I'm okay with that. Yeah, my deadlines aren't 2 weeks. I was given a deadline for a week for a thing. I told my boss, I'm not even prepared to start work on that. Go to hell. I'm not making that. But a lot of the other stuff is when I'm putting out fires. It's, by the way, this needs to mail today. Get it working. Huh? But it's 3 o'clock. Yeah, and? That's why I was there until 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Friday, I had literally just put my laptop in my computer bag when the customer reps comes in. Hey, so XYZ customer is still waiting for that thing. Well, what about it? Well, it needs to finish processing today. What? This is like 5:15. And I'm like, fucking, I'll look at it when I get home. On the way home, I called up my coworker. Hey, can you look at this thing real quick for me? No, I work in print and mail. Our customers are banks. Large banks. And a lot of utility stuff and like local jurisdictions for different areas for like water bills, electric bills, a bunch of credit unions. They are very particular on their statements being processed on time and available to their customers on time. We also print checks. When people don't get the checks, they get very angry. So our deadlines are tight and non-negotiable. And the code is in such a sorry state that it breaks all the fucking time. And no one's had either the foresight, ability, or time to fix anything properly. Currently, I don't have the time. I don't have the resources to fix anything of it properly. I see the code and I go, oh, that's a problem waiting to happen. I wish I could do something about that. But this other thing over here is on fire that I need to go fix. Because 3 people are breathing down my neck about getting this out the door. Shit, God, it was Wednesday or Thursday. I forget which. Thursday, maybe? We got a file in for this one customer. And this is a job that we are rewriting. It's the old code is pure PLB garbage, outputting VIP, which is some Xerox proprietary bullshit. that's basically PostScript, but macroed to hell. But it was it's broken, so we're kind of broken. This overflow shit doesn't work right. So we're rewriting that in Florida, right? And it's not done yet, but their file came in, and the file went to Florida, and it was fucking lost. And we're like, oh shit, what happened to it? So we spent a few hours finding this shit. Then when we eventually find it, we try running it, and it just runs for hours, which is wrong. It ain't right. So I have a look at the file, like, oh, the data is fucking garbage. But at that point, it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock. No, we left it running when we left, and then Friday morning it was still running. Like, okay, something's wrong. I look at the input after waiting a while because I'm putting out other fucking fires, but the customer had called the customer rep like a dozen times before noon that day. Like, no joke. Like, 2 people were taking turns calling this woman every like 15 minutes, half an hour. And she's like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to burn the building down. And I'm like, all right, I'll get my Molotov. Like, what the fucking, let's go. But then eventually I look at the data, and it's like, oh, this data's dog shit. This data's shit. Like, they sent us the wrong thing. Have them send it again. So they sent it again. And then, like, I didn't immediately look at it because I had my hands in other shit, right? They started calling again, right? I look at the code again, look at the data again. It's still bullshit. Like, they fucked it up again. So a bunch of back and forth. They finally sent us good data, but it was like a day late, right? But they were livid because it was processed a day late or some shit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit anymore. That customer can go to hell. Oh yeah, of course it's my fault. Yeah, it's my fault that their data is garbage. Exactly. Right? I get blamed for that. Oh, why didn't I notice sooner? Because I'm putting out other fires for other customers. I'm getting other shit working. Like, what the fuck you want from me? My coworker's doing the exact same thing, putting out other fires. Go to hell. Yeah, if they want it on time, they should have sent the correct data. Exactly. And it took us a while to figure out it was incorrect data. Number 1, because everyone's busy. Number 2, the file was sent to the fucking moon. So the people that mattered, myself and my coworker at my location, didn't have access to the fucking data to even check it for like a few hours. And there was confusion with like, oh, the customer sent it, but we didn't receive it. Can you check to make sure that, you know, we actually received it or whatever? And then I'm sent a screenshot of our own internal system with the file names. And I'm like, for it to have gotten this far, the customer successfully sent a file in. What the fuck did we do with it? I don't know, you tell me. No! Find whoever moved the fucking file! Find them! I didn't do it! Ah! That's the kind of bullshit I deal with. Yeah. With deadlines measured in hours instead of days. Yeah, some days are worse than others. Other days are really, really fucking funny, honestly. If an issue happens and it's not anything related to me, it's fucking hilarious. I love it. Like a few weeks ago, so we have this very large printer. All right. I forget the name of the fucking thing. It's a large format printer. Not that kind of large. There it is. That's like a fucking spaceship. That ain't it. No, hang on. Let me see if I can find the actual one. Is it this? Yeah, okay, it's this guy. We've got one of these printers, right? Big fucking thing. You just download the image. Cool. Can you, like, not have JavaScript everywhere? Big bastard, right? Roll to another roll. Does color on both sides, right? Big, expensive thing. It costs like $2 million, I think, right? A few weeks ago, I started throwing an error, and part of it was making a noise that wasn't normal, right? But it was still running. It was still fine. Until that noise turned into a very expensive noise. Very expensive noise. I have video of that somewhere. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hang on. Is it over here, maybe? I know I downloaded it. Type. Sort by type. And then, yeah, the one where the tech jumped. What is this crap? Nope. Nope. Is it this picture? You can't hear any of this. Oh no. That's unrelated. That's unrelated. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to find it now. It's not that, not that. I don't think it's any of these. Or those. No, let's go back over here. Hang on. I'm scrolling back in some DMs. Give me a second. It's a really loud noise. Come on. But, yeah, so this loud noise happened, and it brought the printer down for like a week. Brought this massive printer down for a week. Oh, not that. Where? I'm still scrolling. Give me a sec. No. Stupid sweater. Oh my god. No, no. Ugh. Ew. This roll is suck. Look at that nastiness. Look at that nastiness. Story time. Maybe some more. Yeah. Well, I figured I wouldn't get much done today, honestly. Is this it? There it is. There it is. I found it. Okay. Okay. So this part right here is... Nope. Get out of there. This middle bit, right? So this middle bit right here, like flips the paper over and like cools it or some shit, right? This portion right here is the very edge of it where it's going into the second big box here, right? So it goes from right to left, right? So unwinds over here, rewinds over here, right? Rolls back up. So we're looking down at this little bridge thing right about there, right? That's what this is.
Hold it down to show that it stops. Oh, well, that's the noise.
That, hang on, I don't have that actually piped through to the correct thing. Okay. Start again.
Hold it down to show that it stops. Oh, well, that's the noise. And then if I push it though. Yeah.
Wait for it. These are the text reproducing it for documentation, by the way. So they're doing this on purpose.
When you let go, it comes back, right? Well, this side is definitely worse.
Wait for it. Very expensive noise. And that noise shakes the entire fucking building. I was taking a piss in a bathroom on the other side of the building, and all of a sudden I hear this go off. I think it was like when they were recording this one specifically. Very expensive noise. Shit like this is hilarious, because like it ain't my money, and I don't have to deal with this thing, so fucking hilarious. Another thing that happened yesterday? Was it yesterday or was it the day before? Hang on. It was the day before, so Thursday. I'm sitting in my office. The plant manager has an office next to mine. He accidentally locks himself out of the office. The first time he's ever locked that door. Apparently ever. And he discovers, when he tries to get back into his office, that his key doesn't work. And neither does the master key. Fucking hell, that made my day. That made me so much happier on a shitty day. I welcome that. That was something else. He had to call the locksmith in. The locksmith couldn't even get it open with a leashy, so he drilled the fucking lock. Yeah, one of these guys, right? At least you lockpick, where you can like decode the actual key bidding, right, on these things. There's a different another picture for that. Yeah, one of these guys. Even using this, he couldn't get the door open. So he's like, "All right, I'm gonna drill it." Like, all right. Which means I need to start taking my tools to work. Apparently, my bag. I don't even think he tried to fucking like rake it or comb it or anything like that, right? Which probably would have fucking opened the lock. He gave up awfully fast, I think. But the fuck do I know? I didn't like say anything to the guy. I just let him do his thing. Like, whatever. You can pay for this. So fuck it. Have fun. If you gotta drill it, I mean, I just think that's funny. But yeah, that made my day. That made my day so much better when the plant manager locked himself out of his own fucking office. Yeah. My job's a fucking circus, I tell you what. Fucking circus. So much shit happens there that just shouldn't. That's not what I wanted open. But like I said, when I get to keep opening the wrong thing. When I get to do what I enjoy doing, it's all right. But unfortunately, I don't get to do that very often. I like I like figuring things out and solving the problems and all that. And even the language that I work in, the PLB nonsense, is I find interesting, right? I find it a really interesting language. It's a garbage language that you shouldn't be using for anything really. But it isn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, I mean, the code in it, what people have written in it is pretty terrible. Because of the spaghetti and the fact that it's been modified for 30 years, right? But that aside, it's not that bad. Which one is this? English 7. See over that real quick. I want to see something. Drum car and everything that's .ast. Did we ever determine what those arguments actually did? I don't remember. No, I read. Where's my documentation for this shit? Here goes study box, I think, and then docs. Is this where is this the new shit? I need to move this to somewhere else. And what opcode is that? That is FE. Some sort of setup for draw ROM character. Oh, no. Yeah. ROM character, I don't even have the fucking that done right. God damn it. 4 inline. 4 stack and 1 inline. 1 inline. No return. 0 return. Observe drawing a 1-bit per pixel content character taken from the ROM character set. Inline word seems to be an ID or index for the characters to draw. I think that might be data for it to actually write instead. Let me hit the bathroom and then we're gonna step through that opcode and see what actually it does. Give me a minute. I'll be back. All right. Bye. Excuse me. Okay, so first step down here, finding the first script in this tape that's got it. Segment 4. All right. That's not okay. Segment 04. Page 4. Okay. Segment 3. Is this also page 4? That's page 3. Okay. So page 4 is what I need to go to. And it's the very first script. Yeah. Okay. Drum car. All right. So this is 14 CBO 7 English number 7. Messin. File open. Enjoy English number 7. Select that. Nope, I want this. We're going to workspace import labels from here. There we go. And what was it? Handler FE. Breakpoint. Okay. Now. So there's too much shit on my desk. Hang on. Let me get my controller. or at least accessible to where I can just push the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. All right. Yeah. Oh, this one. Right. Where you're chasing like little horse or something like that on the train, right? Where you just found him or something. Yeah. I have it muted, by the way, so I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen to it right now. Come on, how long? Maybe in here? There it is. Okay. All right, we're going to see where it stops. We can match that up in the code. Memory viewer, I need to make sure I'm on the right script. So, have a look at here. 6,000 is there. 715B. Okay, that's the script. Good. We are at this here, I think. 61B3. 61B3. Nope. 61B2. No. Six one B something. 61B something. These are all at 6.2. What? How the fuck? That's not... No. 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 Code pointer. What the fuck? Okay. Stack pointer. Yep. Let's go ahead and do argument A. And then argument B. Argument C. D. It's only 4 of them this time, right? Yeah. 67BF. So 67BE, I think. 67BE. 67B. Oh, no, because it grabbed 2 of those characters. All right. So I want that. All right, so we are right there, and we're looking at this data down here, 6ECD, way down here, ECD, FF00, so starting there, down to there. So this data right here. I'm going to go ahead and add a breakpoint there for any of that shit. Just for shits and giggles, so I don't miss anything. All right, 2100. Okay, 2100. 2, and it with 3. Store it there. Load B, and it with 3. Store it somewhere else. Okay. Let's have a look at 455E as a word, 1 and 2. I have a feeling these are like banks that it looks at. That's my guess. Argument C, and with 1, stored in argument C, it's nothing. I'm not entirely sure what that is. That's all about. Or D for that matter. 455C. That's not equal. What is that set for? 455C. That's not 4556, 455C. Something else sets that. I'm not sure what. Or I don't remember what, rather. Yeah. All right. What is that? Reg 455C. 6ECD. Oh. Oh, that's the inline word. Okay. Okay. All right. Right, because that's set in the VM. Right. All right, so it loads that, stores that into a zero-page variable, and then uses that as a pointer. Okay. So then it reads from there. Load that, store it, increment, load it. Compare to FF. So it reads it at... No. Oh, wait. No, okay, so it's finding the length of it? Yeah, it's finding the length of our data here. Maybe. Branch equal, store, push A. No. No. D is the byte we're looking at. So 2B. 2B21. So 2B is in that byte. Okay, so CD 2B21. Okay. The fuck is this? So this swaps to rambig 0. Which one of those? Load, store. Load, store. I thought I had those as variables, those ones, but all right. Hiram swap. Mask off that. Okay, so we're at F2 and 3. And we're going to go to F0 and 1. Okay. I bet you this reads the ROM character out into RAM and then writes it to PPU. Buffers and writes it then. Load up D, store there. Load up D plus 1, store there. JS over to here. Bunch of mass ship multiplied by 32 line offset. Multiplied by 32. So it's the 2x2 car. Because that's 32 bytes, right? It's the data it's looking at in here. Where did I put that? Put that in here somewhere. I think it's in here. So I think it's looking at this table here. I think. I don't. Okay, starting at 24,000 hex in the ROM. Okay. I forget what bank that is, though. 24,000 divided by that. Bank 6. Okay. Starts at bank 6 anyway. Goes for a little bit more than that, though, I think. All right. Zero out some shit. Load up the first byte. Kind of. The high byte of the word. So second byte technically. Compare it to 21. 21? That is exclamation point in ASCII? Thank you for that follow, by the way. I appreciate it. 2, 1. Is that exclamation point? Yes. Okay. So compares to exclamation point. Branch carry clear is greater than? Greater than. Carry is not clear. No. Less than. Fuck. Branch equal. Branch carry set, which is always branch. Okay. Compared to 4F, which is O? ASCII O? That doesn't make any sense. Branch carry clear. Yeah, it's between those two. Compared to 29. What's motivating the disassembly affairs? How you doing? Nadia? Am I saying that right? So it is for this device. It is a tape drive thing for the Famicom. That's right here. End goal is basically I want to be able to create the program tapes from scratch. And the script that I am reverse engineering is what coordinates the whole software, essentially. It's what the program's written in, and it's interpreted on the firmware. So that's what we're stepping through. So I am finding the bit in the script that calls the thing, right? So I know the context in which it's called. And over here, I'm stepping through the code to understand how specifically this draw ROM character works. So I know what it does. It looks at a different spot in the ROM at this right here. Grabs one of these characters out of the ROM and draws it on the screen. But I want to figure out exactly what all the arguments means to, figure out exactly how it works, essentially, right? So right now, the game is the program rather is trying to draw a bunch of text, a bunch of dialogue nonsense. So reverse engineering the tape driver, kind of, sort of, yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah. So the opcode that I'm working on right now is like I said, for drawing stuff. So it's not really tape communication specific, although it does have that stuff that I still need to figure out. There's a few that I need to do, like a bunch of like, hey, get a bunch of shit from the tape and then draw it and then do all this other stuff. So there's a few of those. There's like 2 or 3 instructions to do that kind of thing that I haven't figured out, other than, oh, it does some tape stuff. A lot to figure out. A lot to still figure out with this. But yeah, so I'm not entirely sure how all this stuff works. Very clear. It's not clear compared to 2D. It's like narrowing it down now. So we're looking at this value and narrowing it down. Very clear. Okay. Jump over here. So I don't know what any of that shit was, but it's all done on like the first or second byte, really. And I've noticed that $2B. That wasn't a 2, that was a 4. That there's a lot of like patterns for this, right? So this has got to be some kind of like identifier for like page, maybe? Character set, something, page? Because that, and then there's a lot of 2 9s, right? Those are fucking everywhere. So this might actually not be looking at this table, which it probably is. It might be getting some of this stuff up here, some of the English text. So let me back up a step. The tape I'm going through right now, the program I'm going through right now, is a English lesson, right? So it's you follow along in a workbook, and it's a bunch of like, English multiple choice kind of things and all that kind of stuff. So it's mixed English and Japanese text on this tape specifically. So there's a good chance that this is going to be printing out actual ASCII with with what it's doing. And this is only one of the character sets. This is the big one, right? There's also some half-height text, which I don't think it's that one. That one's not used very much, I don't think. And some full-height, half-width text. This one I think is used a bunch. So it could be this one as well. It could be this one as well. I'm not sure yet. Over here. All right. 2B is, that's the first character again. 4866. Okay. Set the carry. Subtract hex 29. 2. Let's do that. 68. Why? God, why load it if you just stored it? Like, I don't understand. Store that somewhere else. Okay. Load DF. Store that there. Multiply 8 to 16. Okay. So this... I need to change the name of those variables so it actually, like, you know, mult A, mult B kind of thing. Right. Anyway, so that multiplies 8 and 9, 2 by DF. Right, so DF times 2, 1BE. So that's going to be probably offset into something. I don't know. All right, so what are we doing with that? 1BE, so we're putting that into... Yeah, let's get that as a track. 4869. Six, 8. I'm off by 1. There it goes. There's 01BE. Load up the second byte. So that is that one, right? 21? Yeah, I think we're on this guy here. Nope. Shit, which one are we on? This one? It's this guy. I think. Yeah, I think we're on that one. Is this tape drive part of a Japanese speak and spell? No, it's called a study box. So not quite speak and spell. Yeah, it's a bit more advanced than a speak and spell. So the reason that they have this stuff on tape is so on one channel they can have data, right? The images and text and script and all that kind of stuff. And on the other channel is recorded audio. So yeah, it's someone in a sound booth, you know, talking on a microphone. So it sounds amazing, playing out of the Famicom, right? Actual recording quality audio, tape quality audio. So you can actually understand, you know, the English that they're saying instead of having it sound really crunchy. So, yeah, okay. So next, set the carry, subtract 21. Really? So 21 is the base of that? Space isn't something they do? Because that's hex 20. But I don't think he's drawing an exclamation point. So actually, clear carry, add carry, BE. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be an offset of something then. Load 1, add carry 0 for the carry. And 3. Okay, so we're making sure it's still within the bounds of the table. Store that there. 4869. 01BE. Oh, yeah, because it's, yeah, adding 0 to it. Yeah, yeah. Load 8, store that in 486.7. Okay. Load 2, 486B. 4867 and 7 on that, and then come on. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the closed brace. Thank you. And then 486B. Store 2 there. All right, load X and then to a loop somewhere down there. Okay. This is other math stuff, probably for different like tables or something like that. ASL and rotate it. Oh, multiply by 4. Not by 4. I'm sorry. 2, 4, 8, 16. Is that multiplied by 16 if you're shifting by 4? What was it? 1BE, right? 1BE times 10. 0, 1BE. Yeah. Yes? Yeah, okay. All right. Reload, clear carry, add hex 80. Aha, this is figuring out the actual address. Compare to 80. Branch carry clear to somewhere else. Compare to C0. Carry set. So we're making sure we are in the first bank. In this address range, hex 8000 to BFFF. Because otherwise we'd have to set it from bank. Because I'd go down here. We're storing. Okay, load 2, store that there. Compare that to 2, branch equal down here, load 1, store that there, return. Okay, so in here we have an address, 9BE0. So now we need to swap banks and have a look, right? Load A, branch not equal, down to there. Okay. 7.3, branch equal somewhere else. JSR to something. Swaps to the firmware's character set. Ha ha ha. Okay. So we are in bank 8. Right? Swap around bank. Store that there. Store that there. 8, yes. Okay. So now, starting in that bank rather, I go over to here and then go to 9BE0. Nope, 9, not 8. 9B. That's after that. Is that the big one? No, I don't think it is actually. I think it might actually be one of these. Maybe? I don't know. Or maybe not. 90B8. 9. No, 9. Fuck. What was it? 9BE0. 9BE0. Here. Starting there. Okay. Let's go over here to bug tile viewer. We're going to have a look at the PRG ROM. I want that offset starting at 24,000. Tile layout. Shit. It is 16 by 16, but it's 1 bit per pixel. Okay, but I want to add to this 9BE0. I don't have that right, do I? That's 24,009. So 25 BE0. So there's a Cyrillic down there. So, okay, we are actually looking at the big one then. So, whoa. So we are looking, I think, at the ASCII. Because this Cyrillic here is... Yeah. Is down a bit, right? Down here. And these are all doubled up, right? So this up here is actually up here somewhere. Oop, no, don't do that. So maybe it's looking at the hiragana up there. All right. What's that doing? Never did 602 assembly. It's not too bad. I think I saw the consumer devices when they were current when I was little. I never got involved with the computer until uni. All right. I've only been doing assembly stuff for like 8 years, I think. Shit, 8 years already. Only 8 years. But I only started doing it on stream. And now I've got so much bullshit. Hell, even today, a little bit before stream, I was verifying hardware for some guy, for someone on the forums. For this guy, the tablet, right? Where I got my little thing that shows the actual tablet, right? So this is me verifying that the tablet actually works, right? And then this is one of the things I have my hands on now because I'm so involved in this. And then this other ROM here is that other person's ROM to like figure out specifics on the tablet versus emulator. And unfortunately, his ROM doesn't work at all. I don't think they're waiting for the ACK or something for reading from the tablet. But yeah, so I have so many like accessories for this thing, just because I'm that involved now with reverse engineering stuff. First assembly was MIPS R2000 assembly in '93. Okay, nice. A little bit before my time. I was around, just not. I wasn't very old then. Actually, I think I was like 5 years old then. Yeah, that's the year my sister was born. But all right, so Lodex 2. Where did that come from? 4704. Where the hell did that come from? 47. 4509. 2B. Why? $6208. 6280. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. So we don't have the script banked in right now. We got something else banked in. So that's 6280. So yeah, so it's probably copying the actual character down to RAM. So we can draw that. 6280. So it's gonna start drawing there. Probably. My first assembly proceeds to mention a year where I didn't exist yet. Wow. I just barely existed, so I don't feel too bad. On that, store it there. Oh, TV was the character. 6480 down here. Down there. Yeah, so there's the data that came in. Increment that. JSR over here. Yeah, so it's spitting out a bunch of data. All right. 68. 69. That was... That'd be easier. So that was the calculated offset. Putting that into var 50. And then, those are fun characters from the ROM. Characters either 1 tile wide or 2, always 2 tiles high. Full versus half width. Okay. Load this. That's... Oh, this is only 2 tiles. Is that... 486B. Where the hell did that come from? 486B. I wonder... I need to pay more attention to which... It might have been that one, actually? Is that what that is? So I see a bunch of with a 2 on the end there. I don't know. I don't know. Because 4, it's not 4, so there's 2, 4 branches. Yep, okay. And then this... 4518. That's probably its destination in RAM. That's probably what that is. 4518. Where are you? Way up somewhere. 4518 is over here somewhere. Right there. Okay. Okay, from bam. Really? Add 8. Oh, because it's... Yeah, all the F's because it's fucking... What's it? 1 bit per pixel, so it just sets one of the... Fuck! I hit escape. I hit escape! God damn it! I fat fingered that. But now we're on another breakpoint, I think. I don't even know where I am now. Where the hell am I? Code pointer 67BF. That's still where we were before, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Register there. 5, 9? So we're looking at the next character, aren't we? We're looking at the next character. Okay. Well, all right. What did it actually draw anything though? Debug tile map. No, it didn't draw anything yet. Okay. No highlight grayscale. Do not show scroll. Why is that yellow? That's why. Okay. Okay, so it didn't draw anything yet. We're going to go back to grayscale so I don't have to worry about color stuff. Put it over here somewhere. Alright, well, fuck. I guess we're going to move on to the next character or something. Maybe that was like a control character? You know what? Well, no, because it did grab something from RAM. Or ROM, rather. The ROM character. And we have our script swap back in. That shit's still loaded. So that's 2 tiles of fuck all. What? Why is that 2 tiles of fuck all? That doesn't make any sense. All right. 2959. All right. Argument D plus 1. 2959. Okay. Transfer over to here. Swap to RAM bank 0. Yep. Argument D 59. Store that there. Plus 1. Store that there. Transfer over to here. A bunch of math stuff. Again. Multiply by 32. Clear out all that from the previous one. 4866. That was D plus 1. That's the 29. Okay. Why don't I have any variables in that address range? Because that isn't right. Did I not add those? I have 4400. Static 44. 48. I'm not sure the 5000 has changed much either. I have other shit in there. What the hell? $48.66. Yeah, it's only in here. Address. Can you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. 4's over there. 4866. That's just one of them. Name car 4866. Why? Why the fuck? Work RAM 8866. That should be fixed. That shouldn't be able to move anywhere. Did that move? That should be fixed to the first bank, I think. Shouldn't it? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. When sparked not long after. Oh, followed by 64-bit later revisions of both. Surprised, but not really sure which is the only picture after that in that order. But I get to a point where they all mostly look the same. And it's not a big deal to brush up on the details. Yeah. Dennis, last mile, yeah. Did he get the Duck Alpha working again? Because last I heard, he bricked it. For WHN reporting in Linux in the early to mid aughts. It still wasn't a big deal. It's how they stack walking code partially or wholly in assembly for 20 architectures. Oh my god. You saw it running, but maybe it may still be a doorstop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was maybe the last time I heard anything was last weekend, so yeah, last Sunday I think was the last time I heard anything. And it was a doorstop at that point. I don't know if he's got it working since then, but yeah, apparently it wouldn't display anything. It would I think attempt to post, but he wouldn't say any output anywhere. Not on a serial terminal or screen or anything like that. Yeah. All right, well, compare that to 21. Branch carry clear. Branch equal. Branch carry set. Set again. Compared to 4F. Carry clear. Yeah. Compared to 29. Branch carry clear. Carry 2D. Branch carry clear. Over here. No, wrong cover. That's okay. That set carry. Subtract 29. Another offset thing. All right. Store that there. 4868. Oh, yeah, it is 0. So that's why it's showing 0. Duh. Load that. Do the whole multiply by DF. Did I do that? Was it DF before? It wasn't another one, right? Yeah, what the fuck is DF? 223. 223, that's a weird number to multiply by. But I mean, okay, sure. We're multiplying it by 0, so we get fuck all. All right. Load 59, so that's probably our character. Subtract 21 from it. This time it's not 0. But we're adding 0 to the fucking thing. Okay. So it's still 0. Yep, bank 8, whatever the hell, bank 8, 2 high, 2 tiles, right? Bank 8, 2 tiles. Then multiply by, what do I say, like 16? 380 offset into hex 80, 8,000. 8,380. To 4, 380. Is it a dash or some shit? Oh, they use the slashes maybe? Or no? One of these maybe? I don't know. Went to 80. Yeah, compared to that. Yeah. Start a 1. Branch not equal over there. (32 times 7 minus 1). Okay. Some sort of like. Oh, is it? It's not doing octal translation bullshit, is it? Oh God. Ew. There's not equal. Yeah, skips over a bunch of other shit. Ew. Gonna X compare. What code am I in again? So that's the former car set. Okay. So at the raw bank 8. There it is. Load X 2 decrement. This is stuff 4509. Wait, oh, not way over there. So it's right the fuck here. There's that stuff again. right there. Yeah. Lots of storing and shit. JSR to here. Didn't necessarily. I didn't need to be a JSR, but whatever. Find character from ROM. It's getting it from 8380? 8380, yeah. Alright, so just gonna put that probably here. Maybe? Let's see, why not? $45.18. It puts it in the same spot? Let's put it in the same spot. But it didn't put this anywhere, did it? That would have to be... Oh, yeah, because it's got a... It's, okay, so it's not drawing the tile on screen. It's drawing it to, if anything, over here somewhere. Down here somewhere. Probably there? Maybe starting there. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, this is gonna put it on 4518, starting there. Right. Yeah, so it's updating a bunch of shit. It's gonna update all these guys here. Go through. This is just gonna be one tile. Yeah, then it sets the rest of it to the second plane to zeros. Right, 16, 17. Load that. Yeah. Maybe. What the fuck is all this? All these people just use their names. Yeah, that's his handle on Twitch. He doesn't exactly hide his name. ASL, what the fuck is an A? Nothing's in A. What the fuck? Thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate that. 45, 16. Rotate right 6. Rotate right 15. Or shift right 15. Rotate onto 16. Shift right 15. Rotate onto 17. What the fuck? Pull A. Decrement X. Branch not equal. Push A. Carry clear. Load store. What was that? Just modified 45F. Was that modified anywhere? No. What the fuck? 15. I am so confused. FF. Huh? Is this supposed to be like adding the background or some shit? But it's making it just FF. No, it's not. What, There's got to be like colored stuff, palette stuff that it's doing. Doing it weird, but it's doing it, I guess. Oh, that store that there. So then the 41, B41. That did that down here. Yes, this has to be like color background stuff. Right? Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and jump out of this one. Jump out of. That's what it did there. Okay. 80, clear carry, add carry 8. Store that there. Of that. Now this is the second tile. It does the exact same thing for. Okay. Jump to the end. Okay, so it loaded the character out of ROM. And applied a color, I guess. It's one of those, like... One of the arguments, like, color? One of those arguments might be color. The color index, right? So... Gray, white, black, and blue. I'm pretty sure these are all black. So 0, 1, 2. Would that... Is that like background, foreground? That might be like background, foreground stuff. Although, wasn't one of those used for determining 2 versus 4 tiles? How can you tell? I'm not sure how you got to the point of reverse engineering that it was doing text. Oh, so I've got a lot of hours digging into this code, figuring out what a lot of it's doing. So in the past, I have discovered that... Not that one. This code here is grabbing data from ROM. That's grabbing character ROM data, or font data, right? It's loading into RAM. That's going to eventually get it over to not there, over to here, so it can draw it on the screen. A lot of hours, a bit of an understanding. Yeah. So a lot of it is, stepping through the script, right? So okay, here's I find the loop, the VM loop. Is that actually loaded in? It's not loaded in. I'll show you once it's loaded in again. Actually, I could just go over here. Hang on, I could just go over to here. And then I think it's bank 1 VM. Yeah, VM code loop. So this is the code loop that reads the script and executes an opcode, right? So I can set a breakpoint in the script that is right at this right here, right? Right at this address, 67 BC, right? And I know exactly where the or how that opcode is executed, right? VM execute opcode. So what I can do is I can set another breakpoint right here, or right after that rather, and compare what that script opcode did, right? Some do more than others. Some do a lot, some do a little. Some of them just move a cursor that you can't really see, or edit a value here or there, right? Or add stuff to the stack or whatnot. But other ones, I mean, have visible changes, right? There's ones that will draw an entire screen from tape. There's one that will draw like 4 screens from tape, I think, right? So that one step over the instruction in the script does all kinds of very visible shit, right? At one point, I did that step over with this opcode and found out, oh, it drew a character on the screen, right? Or it drew some text on the screen. So based on that, you dig through it, see what other bits and things it calls, understanding the context of like, oh, well, this opcode has to do something that draws a screen because it did that. Can you run a debugger on an emulator? That's kind of what this is. This is all built into this emulator. This is Messin. Fantastic emulator, by the way. But it's got some very robust debugging and reverse engineering tools. So that's what this is. This is part of Messin. It's all tied into that. So that's what I'm stepping through here. Yeah. And the labels and all that I've generated outside. They're all, well, yeah, so part of this disassembly here. And that's all done by the disassembler that I wrote, because I was fed up with this other disassembler that I was using. So oh. Actually, how many years has the study box been here? A few. 2019? This is February 2019. The device simulation will be a problem, though, no? Kind of. So we know enough about the device that we can emulate the tapes correctly. Like, in the programs actually play, and we've confirmed that what happens in the emulator matches what happens in hardware, right? We've done a little bit of hardware verification. There's more hardware verification that needs to be done, but I'm having trouble with that because old rubber. So there's a long journey. We've done a lot of work with it. A lot of work figuring out, the format of the tapes, the format of the images on the tape. So those, let's see, where do I have some unpacked ROMs? So these are all the ROMs I have, by the way. So I've got like 70 some odd ROMs, I think. Something like that. So we're in this one. Oh, I don't have any of the images there. So yeah, so these are 8. No, it's a standard cassette. It's a standard audio cassette. This isn't a study box one, but it's just your standard run-of-the-mill audio cassette. Nothing special about it. But yes, I was able to figure out like how the images were encoded on the tape, so I could extract them essentially, right? This is like an overlay onto a screen, right? So the pink or the pink is missing, not included in the image, right? So it'll only draw like this little text box essentially, right? This is sprites. So these two guys dancing. What the hell is their names? The brother Chance, the brothers Chance. I don't know. But the brother Chance, there it is, the brother Chance. So it's another screen. This is the full screen, right? More pieces, overlays. Brother Chant, Johnny, hi Johnny. He peeks in from the top of the screen, I think, and then after that he shows up on the side there. Yeah, this is pieces of his sprite that come in from the top. Yeah, graphics, how you doing? Still my favorite? Certainly my most familiar project. That's for sure. The one that I'm making, very slow progress on. More screens. Momotaro. So this is his sprites, right? More sprites for that slideshow. Essentially, that happens. A little scene that plays out. Years already. It's been 84 years. Yeah. More text overlay. So this is like the weird thing, right? So some of them will just have the text overlay as overlay, essentially, right? It'll have it as its own bespoke like image on the tape or cutout or what have you, you know? Characters and all, you know, so it doesn't have to do any kind of kerning or character lookup or any of that stuff, right? And then other ones will draw the text from ROM data or script data rather. Johnny, yeah, like a bunch of this. Like this is filled in with a bunch of text, right? But it's all, you know, predefined exactly what goes in every spot, right? Some of these though, like the screen I'm working on here, I'm pretty sure there's like a multiple choice that happens here, and the options get shuffled every run or something like that. I don't know. And because of that, because the location changes, I think that's why they draw it from the script instead of having just a static image for it. I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's still some other code that I gotta iron out, I think. Drawing those screens. You are the person that makes me think that I am not insane. Oh, because I am insane. Okay, I see how it is. GTA 1 hacking. Let's go. All right. Yeah, I enjoy hacking on the older stuff, you know? I mean, as self-evident by all the Famicom bullshit I have, and the TRS-80 that I've got behind the screen that I just got. I didn't get yet, but I just ordered a composite mod for, so I don't have to fucking use RF for this stupid thing. So I can use composite and hook it up to my recording setup, my capture setup better, right? I was thinking, why am I doing this? Frankly, I still don't know. That's the fun of it. Any Linux binary emulation personality going on microkernel? Oh, so you actually get some stuff in the kernel. Nice. So there's some driver stuff that I need to figure out. I don't even know where to start for half the shit. So I have two pieces of hardware to use with that I meant to use with my main machine. Both of them, I have to, like, if I want to actually use them, I have to fire up a Windows VM to use them and pass through the USB bullshit. But I would really like them to just be fucking supported natively in Linux, which would be real nice. One of them is a scanner, which nothing fucking knows what the hell it is, which is cool. The other one is an audio interface. It's a really fancy one, but I can't use because drivers don't fucking exist. So I need to figure out one of these days, once I get better motivation to actually figure out Linux driver stuff, and specifically Linux audio driver shit for one of them, and then digging into fucking the sane ecosystem for scanning bullshit and figuring out how to talk to that fucking scanner. Yeah, it's an expensive scanner because it's a book edge scanner, so I can scan books and shit. Which is another side project of mine. So these programs, these tapes, come with books, right? With workbooks. This is like the intro for the Enjoy English series, right? So it has Kazuko Koike. That's her name. She's one of the recurring characters. There's Johnny, another recurring character in this, right? But as you go through these tapes, there's workbooks that you're supposed to like follow along with, right? So, yeah. So there's the brother Chance in a screenshot there, dancing along. I need to redo these scans. These scans are garbage, but this is on my old scanner and old method. I didn't bother unstapling these for some reason. But yeah, you follow along, fill in some crap, right? And there's eventually, so unit 2. Eventually, in the middle of the tape, there's a quiz. This right here, unit 3, the quiz. So on screen, you only have, okay, what's the question? What's the answer to question 1? How about question 2? Doesn't tell you what the questions are because those are all in the workbook, right? Here's number 1. Here's number 2. Or no, I'm sorry. Here's number 1. Here's number 2, right? Here's number 3 and 4. So you pick multiple choice, you know, whatever the right answer is, right? So yeah, so I've got side projects of scanning these and archiving these and cleaning them up. And so far, I've only got like 2 things cleaned up well enough that I am comfortable like sharing them. I guess sharing the actual, you know, zips. This is one of them. This guy here. It's very the close crop on that. Close crop. Yeah. Oh, so you answer on paper and then copy to the console? Kind of, yeah. It depends on the specifics of the block of questions, but yeah, you follow along in the book, and yeah, it's got like, you know, different not exactly quiz things, but different exercises. That's the word I'm looking for. Exercises in the workbooks that, you know, you copy or do with. These ones, Newtonland stuff. These are like science things, right? These are the crap scans. All right, so these are scans I need to redo, but they're with the new scanner. So this one specifically has like a little like manga comic thing going on at the beginning, a little story. I don't know. Like I said, these scans are kind of crap because it's got bleed through. I'm working on fixing that. I'm doing other scans, but yeah. And then in here eventually, after this little comic, you know, demonstrations and diagrams and shit, right? And pictures of stuff. And eventually in here, oh, is that oh, it's like an index. All right, so it's got the pages. The page, second page, there, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, 9. I don't know why they didn't like match up the pages to. Well, no, never mind. I know why. Never mind. In here somewhere. There it is. There's some workbook stuff. If you make a mistake while copying, oh, that's on you. Use pencil. I don't know. I have to tell you. But yeah, it's got some like math things and geometry and that. You can see some stuff that's. I hope that's a glitch in the in the actual ROM, the artifact that comes over, right? That kind of stuff always makes me laugh a little bit. All right. And then here somewhere, I think I'm also missing some pages in this as well. I think I accidentally skipped some pages. Towards the end of this, eyes. More on the sciencey stuff, less math, more science. Yeah, it's got all kinds of this kind of crap in it, right? What the heck's going on here? No idea what's going on there. And then there's this insert here is that it lists out the names of winners for some contest. That's what that is. Right there. And more of a little bit of comic. Going over more stuff with some math things, you know. And then oop, that one's upside down. And then kids that mailed in some stuff, right? Mailed in their work or fan art or what have you, right? Not technically fan art, I don't think, but it's, you know, mailed in their work. Fucking Godzilla or some shit, right? Guy's riding him, yeah. Oh, someone died! Someone died! Very dirty. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love shit like this. These kids are like, you know, maybe 10, right? They're young. This is a 3rd grade book. However old 3rd grade kids are. My parts are going to compete with Harmony OS. The early 90s mock style clustering to achieve the seamless transparency across. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Linux driver code suites are pretty big. The Arch code suites are bigger though. No. Kind of running tools that we'll use because GTA 1 community is currently very small, much smaller than, for example, the NES or Commodore, because this is a particular game. I mean, NES and Commodore stuff are on the larger side, I would think, of communities because, I don't know, they're like more the better documented, I think, more active communities. Yeah, but I mean, there's entire communities for like just Super Mario Brothers hacking or some shit, you know? Yeah. But yeah, so that's this is one of the books here. Like I said, I need to redo this to make it a little nicer. No, didn't I? Oh, right. I didn't move them over yet. I only did a few of them, I think. Shared. Exported. Yeah, it was a few days ago that I was doing these. Yeah, that's a black sheet of paper that I have behind there. I can't really see it very well, but it doesn't come across very well. But this works a little bit better. I still need to do some manipulation on these, but this is significantly better than what it was doing. Let's get that same page in this other one. Yeah, so it's a better scan, right? Because the bleed through is a lot less. So I need to now just this is more time consuming the way this one I'm doing this one, but whatever. I gotta get through it eventually. Eventually. I don't know. It'll take some time. But yeah, so this is my long-running project, really. Very long-running project. It makes my head spin sometimes. I'll tell you what. But yeah, like I could have swore this bank here was fixed. I could have swore. I lost track of what I was looking at. 2 to 3. Where am I? How did I get here? Where's my stack? What? Am I in the NOI? Is that where I am right now? I think I'm in an interrupt, actually. Maybe? Where the fuck am I? No. No, I'm not. I'm so lost. No, I'm in the middle of the goddamn screen. I'm not in the interrupt. Okay, well. 2D0. Is that where it's going to? 12D0. That's probably where it's going to. There. Is that a sprite? It is! Okay. Yeah, so it's probably going to overwrite that, actually. All right. Right, 16. Actually, I need to go loop inner. Where's this writing it to? 3006. So that's a buffer of some sort, I think, isn't it? C, D, E, F, 10. Add 10. Do the same thing for the next character. Next tile, excuse me. 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10. GTA 1 has this file with graphics and palettes. For some reason, the palette is ale-mangled? Ale-mangled? What? To get to the next entry, you need to jump over 63 entries. Nowhere documented. Oh! Oh, no. All mangled. Got it. Got it. Set flag 94. So it sets that. RTS, loop. Okay, so now I'm going to fast forward to the end of my... No alcoholic mangle, right? Damn. Maybe I'll appreciate that. And then, in here somewhere, this... Right, sprites, okay, do end of my action. Action 4. Right, PPU data, let's go. Buffer starts at 302. Don't force horizontal vertical, use whatever is in FF, the control var, okay. No, nothing but wave cycles, yeah, okay. Yeah. So that there, so that there, so that there. Load that, so that there. Load Y, jump relative to the end of the loop, exit check. Right. This is a bit better documented what the hell's going on here. So now push a address. Max selected 64 bytes. Yep, and it there. Transfer A to X. So now this is going to start updating this guy here. So we should see this update. There it goes. So that was a V. How the fuck does that mean V? What? And it's not that V. Oh. Oh, I see. Which V was it? Was it in here? Yes, it's right there, isn't it? That's not a V. That's gonna be like a fucking Y or some shit, actually, isn't it? Because it's two tiles high. Because I thought it was. Yeah, so this now is the second byte. It's a Y. Jojo, how you doing? Welcome. You missed like an hour of a rant before. Yep. So it's that Y. Okay. Compare that. Check for alternator. Yeah. RTS. Store 0 in the action. RTS. Write the scroll. Do some RAM bank stuff. Control data. Tape minimize shit. Do that. Sure. And then exit. And here. Old action. Yeah, okay. And then that. There we go. The trick part of Linux stuff I'm doing is that MTHP, multi-size, transparent, huge pages, got merged post 7.0, which touches a lot of the same code. In principle, the kernel allocation unit, size boost, product ability, we give Linux the special sauce. My microkernel's VM. In practice, getting merged into Linux is more likely than my microkernel being anything but ignored. When did I be there? My sister was. I wanted to go to this all you can eat sushi place for months. So even though I at lunch, I went there so she could finally go there for me. Yeah, no worries. And I was overstuffed and listened about Jesus for 2. Oh no. Right, because didn't your sister like get fucking indoctrinated or some shit? Essentially Fizzbus. Yes, I did my lunch with her for the quarter. For the quarter. The quarterly lunch. Well, that's nice anyway, right? Alright. Swap ROM bank. Swap bank. ROM bank and A is without any modification. Okay, so then that changes back to the code. Okay. Right. RTS. And does this just move on to the next character? This might move on to the next character. Where are we, though? What code are we in? We're still in draw the ROM character. So this is going to take a few frames, isn't it? Her birthday was last week. We went to her church for her birthday, and they do deliverances. What the fuck is that? What? I have to sneeze. Hang on. Now that I said something, it's gonna stay like right in the back. Why is it so bright in here? What the fuck is that? Okay. Deliver a pizza? Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. The combination of superpaging and binary compatible kernel allocation unit size enlargement is my microkernel special VM sauce. A lot of words that I think I know what the meanings are, but that's over my head. It's way the fuck over my head. There I am. Can't look the video. Understandable. Yep. Oh no, one of those. Oh no. Oh god. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm sorry you had to sit through that. Yeah. Yeah, I can't sit through that kind of stuff. I can't. I get extremely uncomfortable. I'm like, no, I need to not be here. Think Mega Church 5 is not big enough? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it gets better? Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh no, her and my mom and dad and oh no. Oh, so you were dragged kicking and screaming into this, weren't you? Yeah, I can't deal with those kind of places. I can't. And all of that stuff is extremely predatory. You know, taking advantage of people's emotions. Extremely predatory, and I strongly disagree with all that. Yeah. I think even my father disagrees with those. Strongly disagrees with those performative congregations, right? Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to sit still. Or I wouldn't have been able to sit through that. I would have left, I think. Sat with a taser. I just sat there while he said to me, "You have feelings of hopelessness and lost and wondering what you're doing." Like, oh my god. And then they shoved the mic in my face for me to answer. Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, putting words in your mouth, pretending to be a psychic. A psychic medium, but with, I don't know, fucking Christian themed, right? And I pray for you and puts his hand on my chest. Oh my god. I can't stand that performative bullshit. I really can't. I am the Lizard King. Why does it feel like those folks would also say? Because that's exactly what they would say. That is exactly what they would say. Because that's not those kind of places are not Catholic, right? Which is what the Pope is Catholic, right? Is that what right? Right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that performative, like, you know, let me pray for you. Let me pray for you, brother. That bullshit is like Southern Baptist nonsense, but like extremism. It is explicitly distinct from traditional Catholicism, and distinct from fuck. What else the other one? Protestants. Yeah. He goes, man, your heart is beating. God has a hold of you. Oh God. Everyone there is thinking they're having a spiritual moment. I'm just an introvert in front of 100 people not wanting to be there. Yes. Yeah. Sister says the Catholics are not a real Christian. Yep. They just had that argument not 2 hours ago. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I've seen some of that kind of shit firsthand. As I've mentioned before, the first college I went to was like the buckle of the Bible Belt down in South Carolina. And goddamn, that was a fucking eye-opening experience. And honestly, that's what triggered significant change in my belief system and attitude. Not the kind of change my parents were expecting. Because it was the opposite fucking direction. I saw these people and went, oh shit, they're crazy. I want nothing to do with that flavor of crazy. Oh Jesus. Get me the fuck out of here. And I went the exact opposite direction to all that nonsense, as you can probably tell by me using the word fuck. The second largest denomination of any religion in the world aren't real religious people. It's not that they're not seen as real religious people. It's just not. They aren't seen as the same belief system, right? And the trouble being that both of them call themselves by a certain name, and have similar deities. Call it that, but disagree on the finer details, basically, right? So it's a bunch of fucking bickering and tribalism and bullshit. that I've left behind. I don't give a shit. Pray to any imaginary friend you want, right? Any imaginary friend. I don't care. Just don't involve me. Like, you know, tribalism. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all about getting you into that community and making you feel like you belong, so they can control you, essentially. That's really what it boils down to. No one will admit that blankly, or even consider that is happening to them. But that's essentially what it is. It's you know, you finding your in group, and the authority figures of the in group controlling it, essentially. Some more how do I want to phrase this? Some more direct than others. Let's put it that way. Yeah. That isn't to say that there are people involved in this stuff that truly do have good intentions. But yeah, that whole ecosystem I just don't want anything to do with. I don't want anything to really do with any of it, you know? Because it turns into a lot of us versus them, you know? And then there's the extreme of it. The Christian nationalism stuff. That is the extreme end of us versus them kind of thing, you know? That I strongly disagree with. I bet there's something out there. I think Christian core beliefs are good. Don't be an asshole. Yeah. What actually is the higher being out there? No idea. I'm not gonna find out. I'm not gonna find out until I kick the bucket. And even then, if they exist, whether or not, right? But what gets me a lot is the hypocrisy through a lot of it, where, you know, there's certain teachings in various religious texts that are fucking ignored in everyday life, you know? Like you said, oh, don't be an asshole. Turns around, they're assholes. Like, fuck, what the hell happened? I can't read any of that, but sure. But yeah, so I'm not a part of any of that stuff anymore. I used to be, but not anymore. I grew up in it. And then I saw the light, as it were. The light at the end of the tunnel. It was a train. I got the fuck out of there. But yeah, a lot of what I see is, you know, some group trying to control another group, varying degrees of success, and a lot of, you know, us versus them bullshit that I just don't care for. I've lost track of where I'm going with all this stuff. I don't care about any of that. Update attribute. Oh, did this write to the screen? Oh, that wrote to the... Okay, so now we're writing to the screen. Okay, that's one of them. So it updates the one character, and then draws that to the screen. That's the name table. And then does the same thing for the next one, doesn't it? Yep. My goodness. There's that one. Yeah. Problem is that us versus them is more and more common. Yeah. I've been in church for 2.5. Oh my god! And then birthday party for 6 hours. Just had a bunch of friends that talked about. Oh no. Two weeks in a row. Oh my god. Got the F of the country before they threw me. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thankfully at the point with my parents that they don't force me into stuff anymore like that. The last time that happened. So I know some of you know, but for those unfamiliar, my father is a pastor. So when I go home, on Sunday, you know, he's up on the pulpit, you know, preaching whatever, right? I was home one time for, I don't know. I think it was like Christmas something or other, right? I don't think it was this last year. It might have been year before or something like that. And yeah, I think it was like Christmas because there was like a special service, right? It's like Christmas Eve or some bullshit service, right? Which fine, if you want to go, I don't care. Just don't involve me, kind of thing, right? And my father, he understands my stance on stuff, right? And he respects my boundaries. Yeah, he respects my wishes. Put it that way. So very like, you know, quietly, low key, right? He's like, hey, don't. If you don't want to, just don't bother coming. It's all right. I'm not gonna hold it against you, kind of thing, right? It's like, yeah, all right, cool, thanks, appreciate it. Then my mother catches wind. No, absolutely not. He's coming. You're here. You're gonna go. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, why? I'm not gonna listen. Why? Thankfully, she's calmed down a little bit anyway with that, so she hasn't done that to me in a bit. Today was only lunch. Okay, so that's better. You know, you got some free food out of it anyway, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think the fact that my brother lives at home and doesn't go to any services helps a lot, though. Yeah, because he doesn't care either. Like he, you know, he's just saying, like, yeah, just, sure, do your own thing. Leave me out of it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. What? Then to go to church once gonna go once so I can just talk shit about it to my friends. Hey guys, you wouldn't believe what I saw. Oh my god. I wouldn't be able to stomach it. I wouldn't, yeah. Except for going in front of everyone, it was kind of funny. Yeah, so I'm at the point where that kind of stuff is like revolting to me personally, right? Like it is like personally sickening to me to sit through that kind of stuff. And that's you know, because of the background I grew up in and the shit I went through. No, I can't handle that stuff anymore. I can't. I cannot. So more power to you if you can, but that's not for me. Not for me. It's never a direct video of it all because I took great pains to stay as far from us as possible. Still aware enough to understand they were carrying out a long-running, slow-motion Christ of fascist coup. More theocratic for dictatorship than I ran out. Oh, okay. I say, I am only vaguely familiar with the political and/or religious happenings across the world. I don't claim to know anything because I don't. I know surface level shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I mean, I see shit that's happening, and different groups are using religion to justify actions, and I'm like, how can you sleep at night with all that? Like, I don't know, because the things that people have done in the name of some god throughout history is atrocious, really. You know, it doesn't matter like which religion, because all of them have done it. You know, I can see how it has helped some people, sure, because I changed my sister's life from for the better. Granted, something like yoga, meditation, and friends could have done the same. But But it did give her a community and friends where she was alone or with no one. Yeah, I mean, it can have benefits, but unfortunately, I've seen that a lot of those groups will take advantage of people in you know, in a state of weakness, you know. So yeah, it can make them can pull them out of that, but it also might, you know, pull them a little too far, and yeah, make them insufferable. I don't know. The longer I've lived, the more I'm happy as someone to be someone in the EU without any of that baggage. First language was Spanish. Oh, people fleeing Pinochet, vanilla, and I can't pronounce any of those. I'm sorry. So I knew what the danger was. Yeah. That's an unfortunate societal thing where I am, is that conflict is so far away physically that it's easy enough to not really pay much attention to, right? Or pay attention to the wrong things about. And that's always depressing, you know? And I'm glad she found a small one that doesn't seem to be a sex cult. Yeah. Speaking of cults, you hear about the Scientology runs? I find those fucking hilarious. You're not gonna catch me doing that, because that cult's fucking dangerous. But I mean, more power to them. Fucking raiding the Scientology headquarters buildings. Some crazy guy who calls himself an apostle and has others who calls themselves apostles and prophets. She has mom and dad who aren't sucked into that and still living with them. Okay. A bit of a buffer, break, whatever. Yeah. It's kind of funny, right? They end up like taking off the door handles on the outside and like using bike locks on the inside to close the doors. It was one of them where I saw some guy cosplaying Jesus, ripping the doors open and then running through the fucking building. Yeah, slowly getting a detailed map of the building, right? Yeah. But yeah, that cult is a very dangerous cult. Yeah. That's the new apostolic reformation. Charismatic stuff like speaking in tongues and snake handling. Yeah. No. You've had no... Really? They're fucking hilarious. What's this shit? I'll mute it here though. I don't want to listen to it. Yeah, people are just fucking storming the building, dressed up in like fucking Sonic and alien costumes and I wouldn't agree to be interviewed about any of this shit though, especially with my name. Absolutely not. Scientology is a dangerous one. Another one. So, there's Jesus busted in. All right, yep. But yeah, this guy's got the right idea. He's like, no, I'm not telling you who I am. He's got the right idea. Yeah. Ripping the door open, running through. Someone else with the right idea, cover up the face. I don't know what that's about. So, yeah. Really funny. Really, really funny. If people just running in. Because so if you go by one of these places, right? And then start like talking to one of the guys that's like out on the whatever, but talking disrespectfully about their establishment, right, or asking questions they don't want to be answering, right, they'll walk in and like tint the windows and shit, right, and then lock the doors, right, because they know you're trying to start trouble or some shit, and they'll just nope out of it. So these guys, their plan is just to not do that and just bolt in, right? So some people have gotten decently far getting fucking maps and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Literally had spotters behind people in case they collapsed. That part was sickening. You're getting people so emotional they could collapse. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Another one. Can't say the name because it exposes where I live, but yeah, charismatic stuff with speaking in tongues 100% right. Yeah. It's that like that Southern Baptist evangelical bullshit. You know. All people in the church are called saints. Oh my God. Just by going to church, you can be a saint too. Okay. Run movement. There's no church denomination. Call it. Yeah. Yeah. Very toxic. Is how I see it. Very, very, very. Yeah. Toxic and predatory. Very, very predatory. I don't drive with that kind of stuff, you know. I don't like that kind of shit. My friend told me I should respond instead of "Yep." No, I am God. The Jim Jones Kool-Aid approach, yeah, right? They do like spying us out to take over their churches. Yeah. So there's one that I heard about. This is mega church somewhere. They're closed down now. But they were doing one of these, you know, where the minister would have some revelation about something that one of the patrons is going through, right? And the patron we all freaked out, you know, oh my God, how'd you know? Oh my God, God must be speaking to you. Except someone else is doing research on this person from like questionnaires or some bullshit, right? And it's basically the same tactics that like psychics use, TV psychics use, right? Start vague, and then, you know, based on responses. Cold reading, thank you. That's it. Cold reading, yeah. That with cheats, because they'll have an earpiece with someone, you know, giving them hints and, you know, oh, well, this person did this or answered this on the thing or whatever, you know? Yeah. 100% people reading. Yep. Yeah, cold reading, yep. And with some extra information that someone's found due to, I don't know, some sneaky means. But yeah. Yeah, the story I heard of, this one church was exposed doing that. Someone apparently got into the radio frequency of the earpiece and could hear what was going on back and forth, what they were feeding the ear of the preacher. And that was exposed to a big ass fucking scam, essentially, right? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, their days are pretty good. No, they didn't actually serve Kool-Aid. Do they have some? No one interprets anything. He just speaks gibberish. Oh my God, this is the Spirit's speaking through him. All right, what's he saying? I don't know. Okay, buddy. No. Very generic sense. Does it work for everyone? Yep. Perhaps something difficult happened in your past. Exactly. Yeah. Shit like that. Yeah. I also read an article a while back that basically went into detail of by the way, ChatGPT is doing cold reading to you. And you're just you want to believe it so badly that you ignore all the flags. You ignore all the red flags. Right? So someone with coming at it from a different direction that isn't like being directly targeted can see, oh well, this is how they know this, that, and the other thing, you know? Yeah, I don't know. The way that they said this, it could mean a plethora of different things. You just took it to mean this, and then they lashed onto that and ran with it. Yeah. One lady he has, she touched sick people before and told her she should, and then she was like, she's looking for purpose. Oh, big surprise going up the line. Yep. And I was like, oh, when I feel like healing touch, I know I can. I know we found her purpose. Oh my God. The most generic thing, telling a woman they should be nurturing. Yeah. All right, you have a good night. Thanks, Sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm probably not going to go on too much longer. I have lost so much steam. But yeah, so I hate seeing that stuff happen to people, you know, where they're just taken advantage of. Never joke, how you doing? Ghost Whisperer TV series with General Love Hewitt. And when she talked to the ghost and did this whole interpreting the ghost's response, I just threw me that she wasn't literal, just converted to something equally vague. Yeah. My favorite story about one of those like ghost TV shows or whatever, right? So this town in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, right? Got wind that this ghost hunter was gonna be looking at this abandoned house or whatever, right? So all the fucking kids, you know, heard about this and had a fucking field day hiding around while they were filming and just making noise, pretending to be ghosts. Just fucking with the guys, fucking with the crew. That kind of shit I can get behind. I can get behind that. Oh. Everyone has like some revelation from above, like every direction. Like anyone can tell her to take care of people. Yeah, it's like what? No, basic human decency, you know. Dude called Redder and looked, and she was looking for purpose. Yeah. So the Ghost Hunter show was just kids messing around. Yeah, for that episode especially, like the noises were real. It's just that some little snot-nosed shit is making the noises hiding in a fucking ditch somewhere or something, you know? He's hiding in the walls. He's hiding in the crawl space. He's making the noises. But it's like, it's in a town in the middle of fucking nowhere, so nothing's happening, right? So then this film crew's coming in, and suddenly, like, that is the only thing happening in town, right? So the kids get fucking real excited for it. Guys on the Ghost Hunter show actually freaked out because they're like, "What the fuck? There's actually noises there. What's going on?" Yeah, well, I think for a bunch of those shows, a lot of the hosts are, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid, as it were, metaphorically, and maybe have tricked themselves into believing the snake oil that they're peddling. So some of that reaction is almost certainly genuine from them, right? And that's part of the fun too, you know. Mostly harmless fun, I suppose. I'm giggling like you expect a real ghost to be right. Yeah, dressing up as fucking like urban legend ghosts or whatever, you know, just freaking the fuck out of people. Have you heard about the most haunted hotel in the UK? It's really garbage. Well, are the sounds the people living there? Everything just looks... oh my god, okay. It's one of those. Cash grab. Gotcha. Yeah. Tourist trap kind of thing. Yeah, all right. I guess moved out because the owners ruined it, right? Right? Yeah. Anyway. I lost track of what I was doing. I didn't get much done today, but I'm getting hungry. I need to go eat. I fucking ranted today pretty much. Yeah, let's go say hi to somebody. Well, I'm gonna call it here. I think I got fuck all done today. But whatever, it's fine. That's fine. I got some ranting done, so that's what counts, right? Premiering right. What is that like now? Is that now? I'll probably wait for it to finish so I can watch it just as a whole. But yeah, who's on? And I saw Dennis on, but we rated him the last time, so I'm gonna see who else. Is anyone else on? Software dev. And Antarctic pyramids. Woo! All right, let's see who. That's a lot on Twitch. Jesus Christ. That VTuber model's a little dangerous, I think, but sure, you do you. I don't know who that is. Let's find out. Let's see. I'm gonna turn off audio for you, so I can make sure that they are speaking English. Huh. They're building the game. Come on, they go say hi. I'd appreciate it. If I can spell raid, that'd be fantastic. I'll probably be back next weekend doing fuck if I know. Doing something. Probably more of this. There's a lot of tedious shit I need to do that I don't really want to do on stream, but we'll see. I don't know. A lot of scanning and other crap, config shit. But come to say hi, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.